prefer your real hair, your natural hair, or the weaves?
It depends on the mood. Like
What kind of mood are you talking about?
I mean, if I feel like it. Today I didn't feel like getting wigs. But I was at the salon, I could get it.
I have wigs. I don't wear them often, but I do have wigs.
I don't want to do anything with my hair.
Why do you have them though?
Because there's days when I don't feel like doing my hair. Or I just want a different look. And what I love is I can just put it on and take it off when I get home. So for me, it's about a different look. Also, sometimes it's convenience. So for me, sometimes it takes a lot of time to do the twisting, to get your hair the way you want, and I don't have the time to do it because I've been quite busy. Or also because I do some work in TV production, sometimes if I'm on camera. With the natural hair, once a woman goes natural, she realizes that the way the texture is, depending on the climate, your hair changes throughout the day. So you start off the day and your hair is like out here, and then because you're sweating from the humidity or the heat, it starts to shrink.
Come, oh, come me, man, you are.
Yo, what up everybody, it's your boy Mr. Ghana Baby once again, and I'm back again with another educative video. I know most of you have been asking me, why do black women use fake hair? I'm not a black woman. So today I got 4 beautiful, amazing black women right beside me, and I'm gonna ask them this question. They are gonna answer for you and I. Stay tuned and enjoy this amazing episode from Wada Maya. My name is Wada Maya. What's your name and what do you do? Let me start from here though. What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Ivy Prosper. I'm a media professional, so I produce documentary film, I present, which is TV hosting, I write, I do public speaking. I actually wrote a book that was recently published called Your Essential Guide on Moving to Ghana.
You're going to give us the link so that people can buy your book.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you. And what about you?
So my name is Ama Boaje. I am the founding curator of the Afropole.
Wow.
So we are trying to connect diasporans and Africans around the world to do business and make money.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
What about you?
I'm not Mitete. I work with the Afropole, and I also have my clothing brand called the Queen's Clothing.
Wow. And lastly?
My name is Brigitte Perini. I am an associate producer with Refine Creative. I'm a producer as well, documentaries.
Wow. It looks as if Wada Maya is so lucky today. I'm the only guy sitting here with 0 degrees knowledge, man. I don't have anything in my head, man. But anyway, the question is really simple. Why do black women prefer, most black women prefer using fake hair or weaves than their natural hair? That's all I want to know.
I think it's a long and complicated answer. It's not one straight answer to that question. First of all, I have to say, myself being natural, I do believe that women do have a choice if they want to choose to do weave, if they want to choose to wear wigs, if they want to choose to allow their hair to be natural. I think it's all okay as long as you have an understanding as to why you may be doing it. So what I'm opposed to is when someone says they're getting a weave because they hate their natural hair. Because I have heard women say they don't like their own hair, so that's why they get weaves or that's why they get wigs. If you say I want to do it just because I want a different style or I want, a different look, I don't have a problem with that because it's just about, it's like fashion. Whereas if it's because you naturally hate what actually is growing out of your head, then that's a problem of self-hatred. So I think that most women, when they choose to do it though, it has more to do with society and wanting to fit in, because Caucasian standards of beauty are what dictate almost all beauty in the world, globally, not just in Africa or in America or wherever, it's global. So you see it in advertising, magazines, newspapers, movies, music videos, everywhere you see beauty standards tend to be more Eurocentric. So a woman growing up wanting to fit in, wanting to feel beautiful, is going to naturally go towards what people think is more beautiful than something else. Also, when you go to to work. A lot of women feel that they won't be accepted in a so-called professional environment if they don't wear their hair straightened chemically, or wearing a weave, or wearing a wig rather than their natural hair, because a lot of places it's not accepted. So you tend to see more women who are in the creative fields being natural rather than in corporate environments like at a bank, you know, or on you know, financial trading floor or something. You'll see more of the Eurocentric beauty there versus in the creative industries. That's what I personally see.
You have something to say, or you have something to tell me.
Well, I mean, I do think it's interesting to think about, you know, how the way we wear our hair can be a reflection of, you know, what we love or don't love about ourselves. It's difficult though, it's complicated, because on the one hand, you know, for example, when you're leaving your house, I know in Ghana, for example, your mother would say, won't you comb your hair? Won't you brush your hair? Why is your hair just doing anything? Right? And so there's an expectation that your hair should be laid, it should be tamed, it should be, you know, contained. Like when it's going this way and going that way, then there's something wrong with it. But if that's how your hair grows, right? Yeah. If that's how your hair grows, then like, why should that be wrong? Like, why should that be a problem? So I don't think that it's that, you know, black women love wearing weaves, and they just, because wearing weaves are tedious. Yes. And the new lace front,
and expensive.
And they'll now be putting foundation and glue, sewing. It's very expensive. So if women could be free from that, like if there was a social space where women could be, in fact, self-perceived and socially perceived as beautiful, I'm willing to bet they'd be willing to save $500 on weave.
And also sometimes not getting that encouragement. For example, I worked in a space where, for me, growing up in the States, I wore my natural hair because we had great, there are good products to help me, like also in Ghana here. But the thing is, when you walk out of your house and you feel confident, you feel you look great with your hair, and you walk into the workspace and someone is telling you, oh, what's wrong with your hair? Oh, why you didn't comb your hair today? That confidence that you had, even though it was like up here, is going to go at the bottom. And that's what I feel like is the problem with a lot of us in the society. You may crave to have your natural hair, but the fact that somebody out of the 5 people that 4 people might compliment you, but that one person that says something negative about your hair, it cuts to the core. Like, and then, so you decide, okay, so let me just make everybody happy. And that's another like mistake we make. We want to make everybody happy, and there's no such thing. You're not perfect. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to make everybody happy. That you will try till you die. It will still not happen. You know. So yeah, it's.
You have something to tell me? You have something to tell me?
Yeah, I think we wear wigs for different reasons, and most of it has to do, like you said, with society. You know, we can all say, oh, I don't care, but at the end of the day, what somebody said about the way you look affected me to some extent. And even when I was working in the hospital, I had that thing a lot. Why is your hair like, if it wasn't twisted, it's always, if it's like this, why is your hair like that? But other people are there, their hair are just laying down, and mine is, but this is how mine grows out of my head. Like, I didn't ask for it. And let's not make it look like, you know, if we could ask for something else, we would ask for something else aside this. Otherwise, make it look as if, oh, if we could ask God what we want to look like, we won't want to look like. It's just not the best. And I think it's the standards we set. Everybody wants to have the group they belong to as the ish. So, okay, when we see magazines, if I look like this, and I own a magazine, definitely I'll put people I look like in it. So when you look at me, you'll be like, yeah, that's what a cover girl should look like. So I think that's the problem. That's where it started from. The images they portray to us is not what we look like from the very beginning. So if I look like me and I'm not in that magazine, then there's something wrong with it. I have to strive to look like her.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I will say also that, sort of like what Ivy was saying, the ability to choose is the power of the black woman. Like, like, you know, I walk into my office, one day I have braids, one day I'm wearing a wig, like
One day, Duku.
yeah, I'll do something like that. So everyone is confused, like, so what's happening? And didn't last week you know? But that's the beauty of what I get to do. I get to choose, right?
Yeah.
But we've been demonized a little bit for that. You know, people who say like, oh, that's so ghetto. One day you're doing this,
Yes.
you're coloring your hair, you're doing this, and it's like, well, if we were again allowed to express our fullness, you know, and people looked at that and were like, you know what, it's okay. You know, I value that you're expressing yourself and that what you're doing is not disrespectful. You know, you're not making fun of anyone else's culture. You know, you're just trying to, you know, show different styles, represent your space a little bit differently, and that's okay. Then I think women would set themselves free, like they would be okay with that. And also, you men and how you.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true how men
Yes.
perceive as well, because I have heard a lot of men
Yes.
not like natural hair. Say they don't like. Actually, I ran into an ex-boyfriend some years ago, and the time, because I used to chemically relax my hair, and the time that he and I were dating, that was the time when I used to chemically straighten my hair. After we had broken up, a few years had passed, and I made the decisions to go natural. Ran into him, and he saw me. He was like, "Oh, why did you cut your hair? Your hair was so nice and long." Because my hair was long my hair was long, and so he's like, "I would never date you with your hair like that now." And that's what he said to me, and I was like, "That's fine, because you and I aren't together anymore, so it doesn't matter to me." But it showed me his character, that he doesn't like the way that a black person's hair naturally grows out of the hair. I mean, he kept his hair low himself, but for him, a woman's hair should be long, straight, lay down. Like he wasn't a fan of the natural. And then I have a friend whose husband told her he would leave her if she went natural. So she continues to wear her weaves even though she wants to go natural, just because she wants to please her husband who doesn't like natural hair on him.
In fact, I'm really shocked. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let me tell you what I used to think, like why black women put on wigs. I thought like you guys want to change, what do you call it, the Brazilian, the Chinese hair and stuff like that. I thought it's just for like fashion or something. And hearing from you ladies, I feel like no. I've actually learned something, and somebody out there has also learned something. But you know what? Let's conclude this. Okay, let's conclude.
There's no conclusion to this.
And also, it is still about
ongoing.
fashion.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's still fashion.
mutually beneficial, mutually exclusive.
There's a mix.
Okay.
It's a
Some women
mix
still do it,
for
like
fashion.
how I was saying, to express themselves. And
Exactly.
But I want to
it's
ask
deep.
you, do you prefer your real hair, your natural hair, or the weaves?
It depends on the mood. Like
What kind of mood are you talking about?
I mean, if I feel like it. Today I didn't feel like getting wigs. But I was at the salon, I could get it.
I have wigs. I don't wear them often, but I do have wigs.
I don't want to do
Why
anything with my
do you
hair.
have them though?
Because there's days when I don't feel like doing my hair, or I just want a different look, and what I love is I can just put it on and take it off when I get home. So for me, it's about a different look. Also, sometimes it's convenience. So for me, sometimes it takes a lot of time to do the twisting to get your hair the way you want, and I don't have the time to do it because I've been quite busy. Or also because I do some work in TV production, sometimes if I'm on camera.
Okay.
With the natural hair, once a woman goes natural, she realizes that the way the texture is, depending on the climate, your hair changes throughout the day. So you start off the day and your hair is like out here, and then because you're sweating from the humidity or the heat, it starts to shrink. So one example for me, I was working as a TV host on a program. We did some filming in the morning, then we had our lunch break. Then by the time it was afternoon and we were going to start, I'd been sweating because we were filming in Tamale in the northern region, and it was very hot. The producer looked at me after lunch when we were about to start filming. He's like, Ivy, what happened to your hair? You know, and it was like, well, I sweated and now it's shrunk and it's not the same as it was in the morning. So in cases like that, sometimes I'll wear a wig so that the whole day my hair looks the same, right? So it depends on the reason I choose to wear it. Convenience, time, or just want a different style. But most of the time my hair is out natural, or I wear a head wrap sometimes. So for me,
And some people wear natural hair weave. Like my wigs are like curls.
There are
really big, you know.
My wigs are also natural, like curly type of texture. Most of them.
Not everyday Brazilian and Malaysian. Sometimes Malaysian. Sometimes a Ghanaian. Girls.
You know, that's how you know that it's not that we are ashamed of our hair. Because if I'm wearing a wig that is just like my hair, then the problem is not that I want to change my hair. It's just the care. Like for me, I really pamper my hair. So if I'm in a period where like anytime when I was in school and we have an exam, I wear wig.
That's right.
Because I can pull it out anyhow with a comb, but my hair, I'm not about to do that.
Yes.
So
Because in school you're taking time to study.
Yeah.
You're studying, so you want to maximize your time. Why should I go and stand in front of the mirror and then twist my hair for the next 2 hours? Again, that's my choice. We should be given that choice.
And see, when she's saying about the school, I know that girls here in Ghana, when they get to school, they're asked to cut their hair, right? Yeah. And I know that one of the reasons I've heard Ghanaians say that girls should have their hair short, like really, really short, is because it takes away from their studies when their hair is out and long and they have to do their own hair and it takes time. But a lot of people don't realize that there's deep roots in that. In other countries, I don't know the history of Ghana, but I know in places like Uganda, I've read that it had a lot to do with the missionaries when they came to Africa and started giving their message, running schools, and then saying that the black African hair wasn't neat looking, wasn't nice looking, and then made them cut their hair. And I know there's deep roots in that as well. So there's just so many reasons why when girls grow up, they choose to wear the natural hair. It could be that now because their hair had been cut for so long, their hair isn't as long as they would like it to be. So now they decide, let me wear a wig, let me wear a weave because I don't want to wait for my hair to grow. I've been cutting it my whole life because of school, and now this is happening. I want a different style.
That, I think Ghana is having a very interesting moment when it comes to hair, natural hair, because one of my friends was telling me that Ghana has like the highest number of natural hair Google searches, like when you search what women are searching, and so it tells me that like increasingly people are interested, like, okay, how do I do my hair? Like, what do I do with this? And for me, it's not surprising because on the continent, or at least in West Africa, people say, Ghanaian women are the most like natural looking. They don't wear a lot of makeup. They do weave on, but it's not the extravagant, type of thing. And while that is also changing.
Are you not saying that because you're Ghanaian?
It's true. Even if you look around where we are now, this woman's natural hair, like you look around, you see like, Ghanaian, they take it cool, they're not trying to do the most, which I think that's good, right? Like, and it's somewhere we've basically come to meet the natural movement at the perfect time.
So the natural hair conversation is ongoing. It's not something that has a beginning and an end. It's just evolving. As we see women embrace natural hair, we see women making choices of what they want to do for style, for fashion, for trends. It's an ever-evolving conversation, and it has so many different opinions based on where you're from, based on where you're living, based on different circumstances. All plays into the choices a woman makes for natural or not.
I think I've learned something new today, and all I can say, summarizing this, I think it's all based on choices. Maya. I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing episode with 4 beautiful. Are you all Ghanaians though?
Yes.
Yeah, Ghanaians. Okay, so stay tuned. More episode coming from Ghana, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Maya. Peace out.